I have a question for you today that I think is interesting. You may or may not, but as a DJ, when you're playing at a venue or an event, would you want to be there as a customer or a guest? I tell you what made me think of this. I was out with the kids yesterday. We went record shopping, and it was their idea. And there's some records right there that I bought that maybe I'll show you another time. Anyway, we went to this roadhouse afterwards to get a bite to eat. And when I say roadhouse, I mean a roadhouse. We walked in the door, and there was a band setting up in the main area, and it was like a rock band. The sound check sounded like rock, and the vocals were screaming. And we went to this other area. It was kind of quiet to sit down to eat. And the servers came up, young girls, came to take our orders. And I got to thinking, under what circumstances would these girls be at this establishment if they weren't being paid to be there? I couldn't think of one. The vibe was totally not them. It was kind of a Harley Davidson, Route 66, 30 and up dude kind of thing. Poker machines, just the art on the walls, the music that was being played. These girls would never show up at this place just to kick it with their friends. It's a gig, you know? I think we have the same thing happening to us sometimes. It got me thinking about some of the places that I play. Would I attend as a guest or a customer? First place I thought of was Safe House. Absolutely. I've gone in there to eat and to hang out on nights I don't work. Went in there recently with the kids to get some food. And if the music wasn't terrible, when the DJ kicked in, maybe I'd stick around for it. The casino gig I was doing in February, would I go to that? Well, I've been at the casino. I've gone there to eat. I've gone there to gamble, which I totally shouldn't do, but I've done it, and it's been a long time though. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know that I would go for music specifically, you know? If I was there and music was playing and it was cool and I was with the right people, yeah, maybe I'd stick around to party, but yeah, so maybe. I worked a sports bar last year for one night. Would I go there on my night off? No way. I'm not a sports bar guy. I didn't dig the vibe. Pool tables, poker machines, dartboards, game on the TV. That is not my scene. I would never attend this place as a customer. What about like wedding receptions? Well, that was interesting because, you know, with the right people, they could be tons of fun. But what if, I don't know, one of Blanca's friends that I didn't really know was getting married and I was her plus one? I'd be there, but I wouldn't maybe know anybody. And I don't know if I would want to be there. On the other hand, if it was a good friend of mine or someone that we both knew who was getting married and there were people there that we knew and we knew we could have a good time, yeah, sure, I'd go. And this made me think about Barry Manilow. Of all people, yeah. Back in the mid-'80s, all my siblings live out of town. My big sister is a Barry Manilow super fan. She loves Barry Manilow. And my younger sister is kind of indifferent to it. They were in town for Thanksgiving, and as a surprise, my mom got my sister's Barry Manilow tickets, and it was more for my big sister than my younger sister. And I was kind of bummed out that I didn't get a ticket for the show, because I would have actually dug it. I don't hate Barry Manilow. Actually, I like Barry Manilow. I always have. And I'm not afraid to admit it to you or anyone else. And I wasn't as a teenager either. I don't care. But anyway, we've got one sister who really wants to be there, one sister who is indifferent to it. And I was told when they got home that in the show, Barry, between songs, said, hey, look, I know some of you really want to be here, and then your your husband or your wife or whatever doesn't really want to be here, but I want to try to show you a good time anyway. And does exactly that. Acknowledges that there are people that don't want to be there that are, but he wants them to feel welcome and have a good time. He still does this. My friend Jay and his wife Michelle went to go see Barry recently in Vegas, and it was the same thing, where he said this, and they said it was a wonderful show. Now, I don't know who was more into going to see the show, Jay or Michelle. One was more into it than the other, but both of them had a good time. Because he recognized that some people just didn't really want to be there. Like, this wasn't their first choice. If they're going to go see a show, maybe they'd have gone to see Penn and Teller or something, but somebody else wanted to go see Barry, so they went to see Barry. And thank them for coming, and let's have a good time anyway. Maybe that's how we should think as DJs. There are venues that I play, like I said, that I don't want to be at. There are events that I DJ that I don't want to go to. Like, I'm never going to go to some country thing or some pig roast or whatever. It's just not my scene. But if I'm thinking about somebody who may not want to be there, they're there with somebody else, how can we acknowledge them and let them know that we recognize them and we want them to enjoy themselves anyway? It's empathy. It's putting yourself in their place without saying it like Barry did, you know? Maybe make sure you let everybody know you're open for requests. Make sure your volumes are good. You know, good and full, but not painful. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting topic to bring up. I don't know if you think it's interesting or not, but it's something to think about. Because there's always going to be somebody at that venue, no matter what it is. Be it a club or a wedding or whatever, or a festival. There's probably somebody who doesn't really want to be there. How can we make this as comfortable as possible for those people too, so everyone has a good time? That's the challenge. And it's about making sure that everyone is recognized somehow. Sometimes it's musically. Sometimes it's a shout out. It could be a lot of things, but maybe that's a good lesson. Maybe Barry Manilow has taught us a good lesson here. Acknowledge that not everybody is as into you as others. But, hey, we're here. Let's make the best of it. Just a quick video for you today. Thanks for watching. If you could be so kind as to hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.